Meantime, we just keep chopping cotton." He smiled again, knowing enough human history to appreciate the reference. Like I said, very into terra culture. He took another slow pull on the pipe and studied me, ears twitching playfully. Ari likes to play the fool, but he has to stretch his acting chops to do it. "Speaking of brilliant criminals," he said, "how is Mr. Markov these days?" "Still a homicidal sociopath. How's your boss?" He laughed, that creepy, barking honk of a lizard laugh, ears fluttering like butterfly wings. "Still far away, and not very interested in me. The best sort of boss." "Amen to that, brother." I didn't know a lot about Ari's organization, except he liked to refer to it as his brotherhood. I figure he picked that up from terra culture as well, even though no human criminal I knew of had used that term for maybe a century. "Speaking of business," I said, "you got something for me." He rose, unfolding like a pocket stiletto, and glided to a small table. Rattan and wood, simple but elegant. It looked like Sung Dynasty to me. Reproduction, of course, but a nice one. I used to be a second-story guy, and you can't make money at that without an appraiser's eye. He opened a black lacquered box on top of the table, took out a neat stack of cut Flexa chips bundled together with plastic, and tossed it lightly across the room to me. I caught it with my left hand and put it in my jacket pocket without counting. I trusted Ari, and besides, if it was short, I knew where he lived. "Tell me," he said, his eyes more serious, "how confident are you and Mr. Markov in the continued reliability of your supply?" "If there's a problem, I don't know about it. Hell, Kolya wants me to lean on you to up your volume." "Interesting," Ari said thoughtfully, his ears open but folded slightly back, alert but cautious. "Mr. Markov tells you to encourage me to increase my purchases, but you choose not to. Why?" He walked back and settled into his former chair, waiting patiently for an answer while it readjusted to his shape. It was a good question. I just wasn't sure he was going to like the answer. The thing Ari and Kolya Markov have in common is both of them are dangerous enough to get me killed, but that's about the extent of the similarity. The big difference, aside from the whole lizard thing, is I figure the worst move I can make with Kolya is to tell him the unvarnished truth. The worst move I can make with Ari is to bullshit him. "Well, I see it like this. We get pretty good cover from your people up the food chain, but sooner or later, enough high-end leatherheads are going to get themselves dead on laugh. There's going to be serious heat, more serious than you're going to want to handle. On that day, as we like to say, the shit hits the fan, and I figure all the shit is likely to hit our fan. You're going to walk away clean, Ari, and just find yourself another hobby, while we're going to be up to our ears in Kogoshak provosts." I took a chance, calling him and the other Varoki leatherheads, and his ears had folded tightly back against his head when I did, but he'd relaxed into a smile by the end of my little speech. If you insult someone, they may not love you for it, but they'll give you points for honesty. That's kind of a cross-cultural truism. "Did you share this insight with Mr. Markov?" "Sure, for what it's worth. Kolya fought on Nishtaka, so he's not afraid of the Kogoshak." "Markov fought in the Nishtaka campaign?" Ari asked, his ears fanning wide again. "Yeah, so what? Yesterday's news. It's not like he was the only guy there." He shook his head and drew on the pipe, his ears settling back. "Sasha, Sasha," he said, taking the pipe from his mouth and waving it at me like a scolding finger. "You are too hard on your friends. Veterans of Nishtaka speak with admiration of the 2 human rogue brigades they fought there." "Nobody ever said Kolya didn't have steel teeth," I answered, and Ari nodded his agreement. "So, what do you plan to do, my friend?" he asked, and the pipe went back into his mouth, eyes narrow and unreadable, ears motionless. Of course, he hadn't said I was wrong. One of the things I like about Ari is he doesn't waste your time denying the obvious. "Don't know yet," I answered truthfully. He leaned his head back and studied me for a moment.